Alright folks, hello and welcome to another Modern stream. Today is Bruce Day Tuesday. We're gonna be playing some Bruce. We're gonna be playing some Brewskis today. So, number one, we're gonna be starting off with a nice little spicy number. This is a card that people were arguing to be banned at some point. That's how good this card was, and now it's completely been banished from the format. So the last couple of years have not been good for Urza, the Lord High Artificer. But today we're gonna, the card is still busted, so today we're gonna see whether we can make it work again. The big interactions with Urza, of course, are Tireless Tracker, because with any land that you get a clue. You can use that clue to create more virtual mock sapphires that can get sacrificed to draw cards. So, while growing your Tireless Tracker, of course. So this interaction is definitely quite strong. We also have, of course, the infinite combo of Thopter Foundry plus Sword of the Meek. In this list, we're playing Renin 6, which can help us hit our land drops, fix our mana. Gilded Goose, which makes a food that can be tapped for mana. And of course the goose itself can tap for mana. Then we have either Spellbomb and Needle and Bubble as basically a random artifacts. Urza really likes to have access to random artifacts chilling around the battlefield. The Fairy Time Raveler, this one dodged the bannings. The Fund Raveler is here and makes a strong presence. And then we finally have Omnath, Locus of Creation, and Karn the Great Creator to round up all of this mid-range fest that we got going on here. Of course, Omnath is going to be good alongside Renin 6, and it's going to be good with our fetch lands and stuff. And then Karn is it's just very synergistic with Urza. You can get basically coding to lock things up, or then a bunch of random different things, including whichever half we're missing from the Thopter Foundry plus Sword of the Meek combo. We run things up with 4 removal spells in Path to Exile. This is a deck list by my friend Levi, so thank you so much for the dono list, Levi. We're going to be trying this out, and then we're going to be looking at potential ways to fix the deck or improve it. The sideboard is pretty straightforward. It's basically a wish board. I think this makes sense if we split it by color. But it's basically a Karn wish board. And then 2 Ashioks, 2 Veil of Summer, 2 Aether Gust. We're going to see how this works out. Am I the only one to hear him only in one headphone? I don't know. I hope that that's not the case, because I don't think I have anything changed here. So it should be coming out of both ears, I guess. This interaction is definitely strong. I'm just wondering whether, I guess the entire format has slowed down significantly. I do want to make room for Metallic Rebukes. The last time I played Urza, which was back while Uro was still a thing, so of course you have to take it with a grain of salt, because the metagame was obviously significantly different. But the idea of having access to Yorion Sky now, yeah, this hand sounds very slow. This seems like a lot better. I think I'm shipping the tracker. Urza just seems stronger. I guess I probably want to make sure that I leave this thing up here, because I want to make sure that I can figure out the mana base. The mana base seems like the toughest thing to figure out, to be honest. Triumph is obviously going to do a lot to help us out, and I wonder if we should have access to another Triumph, but I guess it's either Tracker or Teferi that I'm shipping here. I'm gonna ship the Tracker. Tracker is the strongest card overall, but Glass Bull. We're drawing Engineered Explosives. I guess my opponent's probably playing some Taxes nonsense, right? So I'm gonna play the Misty so I can play around Leonin Arbiter, but I do want to draw the Engineered Explosives. Sin Emry es una dono list. Soulrider, así que no hice ningunos cambios. We're gonna be whether cutting the cards and playing the full suit. Wishboards want the full 4, they're worth it. I don't know. Again, this is a donation list. I didn't make any changes. Interesting. Interesting. So I guess I'm gonna play the Gusarino here. Next turn we can Urza. Or Teferi, whatever seems best. We can't do both though. So I'm gonna bubble myself first. There's a goose on top, which I don't want, so I'm gonna fetch. Get an island. Oops. Blue. Jam in with no fear whatsoever. Not bad. Not half bad. What's my opponent doing over there? Just having some fun? That seems like Soulrider, the Aspiring Spike Brew. No green sources is awkward, of course. So our options include play explosives. I guess that we can do play Thopter Foundry first. Then we can play explosives and we can play Teferi. Tap, tap, white, Teferi. Definitely interested in playing out the Teferi here because I want to make sure that my opponent can't ephemerate this. That forces them to pay the echo. Now the question is, do I bounce something? I think I don't. I think I save this for next turn. We just chill here. I guess I could have attacked, but attacking is bad if my opponent has any way of getting rid of the Urza. Yeah, my opponent paying the upkeep there. That's just great for us. I'll block you. I'll block you, I said. Honestly, we can even get to a point where we're just like bouncing our own Urza, just replaying it. Though I guess at that point it's just better to spin. It's also kind of interesting to just bounce this and effectively, like, we're missing... Oh, never mind. Never mind. So I guess, yeah, this I think the best thing for us to do is to just bounce my own explosives, replay it for 0. So that way, I just start spinning Urza until I find... another Teferi, then I Teferi minus on the Avalanche Riders, and then I just make infinite tokens so I actually swing for lethal right here. Not bad. Not bad. This seems like a strong card against my opponent. Biting Needle is sus. And that's kind of it. I kind of like the rest of my deck. Just add 4 Moxes. I mean, these are basically Moxes, right? What's up, House? How's it going? Probably one of the paths. So many colors, so many mythics. Actually, it's not as much money as I displayed on on Friday. And we got the wins that we deserved for playing such expensive cards. I do wonder how much do we really want access to Aether Spellbomb when we don't have access to something like Emery that allows us to replay our Spellbombs. Like I'm not super into the Aether Spellbomb. So with any fetch land, we're golden here. Turn 1 Goosey, turn 2 Ren. Green cards from Time Spiral come out tomorrow. Oh, that's right. All the other cards just got spoiled already. I wonder what we're gonna get. Lightning Bolt. Can we please find a fetch land? Imagine if we had found a fetch land and we get to kill the over Hierarch. Naturally, drawing the Collector Roof is pretty solid too. Your wallets will suffer. Old Border Primeval Titan would be very exciting. Old Border Primeval Titan would certainly be very exciting. No joke. I guess at this point, I did find a fetch land, so... Oh, shit. Do I have access to Sacred Foundry? I don't. So my dual lands are a little bit all over the place. Unfortunately, I don't think I can take the turn off. But I'm gonna have to because I just don't have any other options. So I'm gonna get Rogue in Triumph. It feels like Path to Exile is not the removal spell that we should be playing, honestly. Maybe it should be something like Galvanic Blast. 80 card Exile with Sabbath. Yeah, that's a good way of thinking about it. Why not fetch and use Ren to get back fetch to set up for next turn? Because then my Ren dies. I'd rather my Ren not die. And that's what I'm trying to set up here. Path to Exile is just not a very good removal spell right now. Now we can fetch for a Temple Garden. And I guess I'm pathing the Eternal Witness. Feels bad, but it is what we gotta do. Now we're probably gonna minus on Hierarch and path the Yorion, I guess. Because the Yorion is beating us down. My opponent can't help but to get some value. That's really good. That's really, really good. Alright, we're now in trouble. We're officially in trouble now. Oh. It's not bad. Is that enough, though? Is that enough? Probably not. No, I don't think this deck can play this patch. Like, it's turn 6, and we only have 2 artifacts right now, right? This patch is not easy for us to enable. But we could play something like On Thin Ice. I know that Spike has been very high on Thin Ice. The issue that I have with On Thin Ice is that we're playing explosives in the main deck, so that doesn't quite work. Because explosives on 1 is probably what we're gonna be wanting to do most of the time. So we're gonna Teferi. Teferi minus an Yorion. Sucks because opponent draws another card. So that's obviously not great. Well, I mean, I guess that we can sacrifice our Ren to kill the Ice Fang. Let's start here. Huh. So we can kill the Ice Fang here. Then opponent Noble Hire attacks the Teferi. But I feel like I have to ping the Quaddle, because this Ren can't survive anyway. And I'd rather deny my opponent the extra draw step. It's not great. It's not great, but we're hanging in there. So this is gonna get a Steam Vent, I think. We need another blue source for sure. And I think I'd rather have Steam Vents instead of Hallowed Fountain. Yeah, so they're gonna clear the Baby Tef. And we have this stupid Ashiok, which didn't line up well. This sideboard seems shaky, honestly. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm just gonna crack the food, I guess. My opponent can then play the Yorion and blink the Deputy. It just doesn't matter. But we stay at the same life total. Instead of my opponent just basically eating both foods for no gain from us. Oh. Well, that's a card. Okay, so now I guess I feel very smart about having access to this Ashiok right here. And I guess there's no reason to mill ourselves. Oh yes, Sword of the Meek is a reason to mill ourselves, so let's mill ourselves. No Sword of the Meek. Is this an anomalous for anyone with 80% of my right headphone is okay? That's very weird. That shouldn't be the case. I didn't change any of my settings. It's the same for everybody. Interesting. That is very interesting. Huh. It is center though. See? That's the mic aux. Huh, so it's the case for everybody. Very interesting. I guess I don't want to play Thopter Foundry anyway. I guess I don't want to play Thopter Foundry anyway, never mind. So I guess I should have held on to this in case we draw Tireless Tracker. So that was bad. Maybe the wire or the connector. Huh. Blossoms. Is that better? Is that better? Hello, hello, hello. No. Damn it. Phone is just going off over there. What's up with the raid? Thank you so much. Welcome everybody from Wusa's stream. We're doing some dono lists today. We're unfortunately having some audio issues apparently, which is a tad annoying, but I honestly have no idea how to fix them. Check the connector of the microphone if you have an XLR connector. That's what I tried. It's just a USB mic. I mean, I can't really bit this, right? I guess Urza into. Well, I can't draw both Urza and Sword of the Meek. So yeah, I can't win. Yeah, my opponent's doing the thing, living the life. Okay, so I guess Ashiok is not just horrible, but I kind of like Relic of Progenitus against them. I'm just not so sure that we're doing the Karn thing right here. You can rip sword into Ursa? No, I couldn't. That's what I was saying. So I can't draw both. Like, Gust is kind of awkward. Like, I don't think Gust is better than all the other cards that I'm playing. It answers some of my opponent's cards and then doesn't do anything against others, so puts us in a little bit of an awkward spot. This hand's pretty slow. I'm gonna ship it. Looking for Ren and 6. Ren and 6, both of them. But this will do, I guess. Steam Vents. Just gonna try them. Like, I need the land, but I probably... Ugh, more 4-drops. God damn it. My opponent has a mana dork. Please give me a Ren off the top. Please. Please, Ren. No. Never lucky. It's not terrible, though. Look at my opponent's F6 value. Just main phase fetched for a Triumph. 6 sick value. Breeding Pool. We do have another blue source, so I guess I want Stomping Ground or Temple Garden. Let's get Temple Garden. We have more white mana. Feel like I've justice to the other thing. If we raid the right ear, it's just going. Don't worry about it. Everything is fine if you think it's fine. Ice Fang Quaddle. As long as you believe that it's fine, it's gonna be okay. Deputy. If my opponent attacks, I'm not gonna block because they showed me Bolt. So if they attack with Deputy, I'm just not blocking. And obviously I'm not blocking the Ice Fang for obvious reasons. Soulrider. Okay. Opponent's gonna start drawing cards. Scary. Scary for sure. So this is free because it makes a clue, it makes a food that makes mana. So that's free. Now the question is, what do we do now? We can spin, we can Karn. What if we Karn? 1, 2, 3, 4. I think we're Karning. And we're setting up the combo. Yeah, I'm just gonna Karn for Thopter. We can sap the Foundry itself if we need to. If we need to make a token for whatever reason. And if my opponent doesn't have an answer to this Urza, then we just win next turn, which is nice. Ephemerate. Opponent can blink the Deputy. to exile something else, but then we get the fairy back. I guess that my opponent could technically attack the fairy and kill it then. Apparition would be their best draw by a large margin. Okay. So now they can't blink Deputy though. Right? Because they blink Deputy and they exile like whatever I get. Ashiok. I guess that doesn't really do anything. So this just doesn't work, right? I bounce the Deputy and I kill them? Right? Am I missing anything here? I don't think I'm missing anything. Okay. Guess my opponent is interested in making me click through the whole thing. But we actually win right now. We make an infinitely large construct, and then we find Ren. I'm just gonna type it in chat. I find 2 Rens, Fairy, Path of Urza, clear both blockers, swing for lethal. GG's. Thanks opponent for conceding. All right, what have we learned here? Yeah, I know I have infinite mana. That's how I'm planning on getting infinite like Urza triggers. What have we learned so far? Counter queuing, I see. Is this hand good enough against AmuLIT? It is not bad. If I find a fetch line, this seems like it should be fine against AmuLIT. There's a faster way to kill through the combo. It's possible. There's a Misty on top. Sweet. It's exactly what I needed. Gonna get Steam Vents here. Ren plus pass the turn. Next turn we can just play a tracker, or we can Omnath into land. I kind of like Omnath. The problem if I Omnath though is that I can't. I can't path if I Omnath. House banana. Oh, that's glorious. That is awesome. House banana. Plane tracker here. Holding a path. Dryad. But Dryads means no Titan, so that's kind of good for me. Red, white, green, blue, Omnath, land, gain 4, make clue. Fetch. Do we have any other white source left? Because we did draw our Hallowed Fountain. We don't. Don't have a white source. Rough. Rough. Holy crap, is Path to Exile bad. Holy crap, is Path to Exile bad. Is that good though? Is that really even good? I don't think that's good. I think we have to path here right now. There you go. Okay, now we're cooking. Massive second for the more streamlined and abstract win conditions, and the infinite mana into eventually casting Karn into a card that wins the game well. So in original card institutions is beautiful. Yeah, I mean it's just powerful cards, right? It's just powerful cards tribal. That's the name of the game. It's Primeval Titan. That is a Primeval Titan. Cobb MTG, thank you for that follow. I appreciate it. But House is going to need a Dryad. Without Dryad, I don't think that he can lethal me. He may be able to Pact of Negation me, so I'm not going to block if he attacks. Si la base mana se complica porque ya no hay Astrolabe ni Moxopal, pero Ren da una mano importante. Sí, por supuesto. Por supuesto, Ren es fundamental. You should watch on YouTube, glad you got the stream. Oh, awesome. Happy to have you here. So I guess if he has a Dryad here, okay, so he has it backed, so that should be lethal now. Yep. Look at this beautiful sideboarding. This card is so bad. There has to be something better for us. Honestly, I'm thinking maybe even Lightning Bolt is just better than this. Is AmuLIT currently playable? I guess you have not been catching up on my YouTube, right, Hatsu? Yes, AmuLIT is very good. No, On Thin Ice doesn't work with engineered explosives. I thought about On Thin Ice, but it's just bad. It just doesn't work here. Also, I think that this card is just not worth a card. The reason for having either Spellbomb and stuff like that is if you have Emry, and without Emry in this deck, there's no real reason for playing this card. So I feel like I've drawn a couple of conclusions in this first two games that I've played so far. Sucks. I just think that Quaddle is actively a bad card. Path to Exile. I don't want to have Path to Exiles in my deck. That's what I'm saying. So I think I'm just gonna Ashiok, and I guess I can just Teferi. Let's just Teferi. Teferi when we're gonna plus. Next turn we are probably gonna Ashiok. Don't have a Susa. Don't you dare have a Susa. Sure. Oh, I forgot to blast the fairy. Whoops. I think On Ice is great without explosives. The deck's won't removal against don't kill lands. Yeah, I think that the card is great, but I think it just doesn't combo particularly well with the other card. Okay, so the plan here is going to be to bounce the AmuLIT. Then we're going to play this, and we're gonna Karn for coding. And then upkeep. He drew a Dryad, he drew a Susa. So I definitely want to get rid of the Valakut right now. I don't want to make his Dryad draws good. Play Tracker, play Fetch. Fetch. For Island? Yeah, I think we'll just play another Tracker. Because he can't explosives, right? So this is just fine. What we got here? Turn Timber. Even if he finds the Titan, we have Ashiok, so it's fine. I don't know honestly how I feel about him playing out the Tulare West. Seems like a little bit of a waste. Big truckers. 1 mana off. Feels bad, man. So we're just gonna double block the tracker. Duas doesn't do anything in the face of Ashok. Yes, but if he like his only out is to Dryad into Valakut plus triggers, right? So he says, I think I have a clue where this game is heading. Wow. Wow. Good job, House. Good job. Like, he has Azusa in play. His out is... He has Azusa in play, his out is to draw Dryad into trigger Valakut a bunch of times. Like, that's how he deals with Ashiok. So, by playing out the lands from his hand, those are triggers from Valakut that he's not getting. So, I think that even though the T-West doesn't do anything in terms of transmuting, it still has value to be holding in hand. Hi, what's the record is this deck a thing? You can see the record right up there above the chat on the screen, and I don't know. This is my second match with the deck. Sounds seems cool. Okay. Where's my Urza? Urza. That's scary. So we're gonna get turn 3 tightened. Yep. Why not look at their library? Kind of useless to look at ours. It's kind of useless to look at theirs as well. Like, it doesn't really matter. I just want my card because I need to find Ursa in order to win. The good thing is that if we top deck exactly Ursa, we actually win, which is nice. It's always nice to win, you know. We just make infinite mana, we Karn minus for Ballista, Ballista kills them. Opponent's deck seems good, we should try it. Yeah, it looks cool. Castle Gurmrick, such a strong card, yeah. The combination of this card with this card and this card seem like they are an underexplored thingy. If he has Pact of Negation in his sideboard, then I think this is not a good play. He should be just transmitting for Pact and then holding up Pact so we don't kill them. Because it doesn't look like it right now, but if we untap, we win. If we draw an Ursa, we win. He doesn't know it, but Ursa? Doesn't cut it. That doesn't cut it. Is there anything that saves me here? He's just gonna kill me next turn. No. If we draw Urza, we win. Yeah, we would have won. Feels bad, man. Feels bad, man. Urza. Technically not dead, I guess, so we play on. But now we're missing the land now, right? So it's actually not lethal anymore. So I guess that maybe we should just back it. Because we can't both draw the land and the Urza, so. Brutal. This card is so bad. Okay, this hand's legit. Ship that, ship that. GG's house. Did you have Pact of Negation in your hand in the last game? Tireless Tracker. Don't think we won Tracker. Because if you didn't, then you shouldn't have attacked. You should have just transmuted for Blue Pact. If I had top deck and Urza on that last turn, I would have won. Growth Spiral. I realized that afterwards I didn't have the pact. Yeah. Yeah, that was a little bit of a mistake there. Been a long time since I played against Urza. I mean, it's not specifically against Urza, right? Like against most decks where you don't really know what your opponent's doing, you probably want to play it safe and make sure that you can stop them from backdoor killing you. It's not like the 8 mana, the 8 damage really mattered. So if my opponent Cryptic bounces my Foundry here, oh wow, we're playing against the Teachings deck. That's awesome. The Wilderness Reclamation deck, sweet. Went for haste because I figured if he had Path, I had Tracker as opposed. You could have the transmitted was the right line. Yeah, I just think that it's just bad to not. Like if you had the pact in hand, you were fine. But like there's just literally no reason to do that. Basically, it's a lot safer and a lot better to just make sure that you can't get killed out of nowhere. These are some brutal draws, but I think I just have to jam Urza here because otherwise my opponent just gets a free. They just get a free Factor Fiction, and I can't beat that either. So. Damned if we do, damned if we don't. There's just no good scenario for us. Just flood it a little bit too much. Your house, so you never get punished for anything? Facts. I want the guaranteed draw because my opponent could be playing Abrupt Decay or something like that. So I want the guaranteed land drop. I know that I can cycle Canopy, but just Cling to Dust. It is Cling to Dust. It's pretty nasty. It's pretty nasty. Good old Cling into Factor Fiction. Disgusting. Can I even beat this? I can't beat this, right? But them having decay is better than them having cryptic command, right? They have 9 cards in hand. Oh, must feel so nice. Must be nice, opponent. With all of those cards that you drew and stuff. They probably just main phase kill this Ren, right? Utopias, bro. Okay, that I wasn't expecting. All right. Why are we playing Utopias, bro? Definitely cycling here. Hello there. You have another counter? They do. Okay. I guess I want to see what their win con is. Like it's not great, but so unfortunate. Not only is this card terrible, but we also drew 2 copies in the matchup where it's even worse than terrible. Search for Escanta. Wow. Except in this deck, that card is actually good. 1 draw step. Yeah, that's not gonna do it. Ashiox. Veils. We have a lot of bad cards here. All of those cards are bad. I guess I'd rather have a relic. I guess we're playing Gust. Also, I just realized we're playing Spikeless and Python Needles. That has to be a mistake. There we go. Little Donnie coming back to the 10th month. Thank you for your 1 sub, Donnie. Welcome back to the Primetime Stronghold. Thank you for your continued support, your love, and your tolerance. All of those. What is the reasoning behind 2 cards? The reasoning is donation list. The reasoning is donation lists. I think I already have a bunch of thoughts about the deck, though. So we're probably gonna be able to be doing some improvements. Well, my opponent takes a minute to cyber. I'm just gonna go to the bathroom real quick. BRB! Don't go anywhere. Okay, we're back. The last Urza streamer? Hell yeah. I'll be whatever you want me to be. Turn 1 Goose, turn 2 Ashiok's not bad. I love Urza, but I think we should bring Armory in. Yeah, I honestly don't think that we should be playing 4 colors. Omnath is very powerful and everything, but I don't think it necessarily works with what we're trying to do. It does work very well with Ren, though. I'll give it that for sure. So, bubble. We're gonna bubble ourselves. Snow-covered forest, no thank you. We're gonna get stomping ground here. I guess breeding pool is better. Have you tried adding some lands and cutting down colors? I have not, because again, this is not my list. This is a donation list. This is really interesting. Because Ren plays around Dispute here, which is kind of big. It's also something that my opponent probably has to answer as well. Force of negation. Okay. Was here at the start, but I fell asleep. Mid-afternoon nap gang. Nice and good. Good stuff. Broke siding cards to give yourself the ability to draw into them. Woke instead bringing in cards you don't need to draw, so that's the card. So that your card hadn't made worse. Don't worry about it. Of course, of negation. What are the chances that we get disputed here? I guess we're doing this again. Search for a Skanta. Now we have options. Now we can go the Ashiok route, which is very enticing because... Oh. Well, I guess Dispute, right? So do I just want a tracker? I think I'm just going to tracker here. Feels like one of the few ways that my opponent can get back into this game is they just counter the Ashiok with a Dispute and they take it from there, right? What kind of ring will you play next? It's on Twitter if you wanna see the list. So now they have 4 mana. So they have access to cryptic commands. Have 6 mana. So I think I'm leading Ashiok. And the reason I didn't crack a clue is because if my opponent counters bounces, I get to replay the tracker and I get to keep pressuring their life total. Or I get to play around Dispute / Mana Leak. Counter draw. Okay. Pass the turn. Can't flip Ascanta just yet. Saloon divisions. Total script is also interesting. Spyglass can name search. I guess I'm going for... Let's go for coding. Mostly because it's the one that I just don't care if my opponent counters this. Like, they can counter this, but it literally doesn't matter. They had a dispute all along. I love it. Played around dispute like the champions that we are. I'm so used to playing blue-black X. Urza decks, I still get slightly tripped out that you can tap white to cast all the... yeah. Yeah, you can. Although I guess that right now, white just seems better overall, in my opinion. Good name, Ascanta. Get a little peek. Fourth Teachings Remand. Fourth Teachings Remand. So we're just gonna name Ascanta the Sunken Ruin. One, two, three, four, five, six. So they have 6 mana. Let's crack one of these. Another Urza. Opponent can Teaching Sorcerer Abdicate here, which is what I'm hoping they do. Because now I can play Urza. You love to see it. And then we can crack some clues and stuff. Do we want to crack clues or do we want to... We're gonna keep this sword. Sure. Crack 2 clues on end step. We have a lot of mana. Spyglass is probably gonna be feeling frisky. We're in good shape here. I'd say we have a mile advantage. Yeah, just a tiny bit. Anything that I want to change? Explosive seems really bad. Why not tap the sword? Garbage time had been unlocked, so I just didn't worry too much about what I was doing. I wonder if my opponent is also streaming. They might be. Zjara89, thank you for that follow. Is just turn 1 Goose secretly the best thing this deck can do? Just completely busted. It's not what I wanted to see. Definitely not what I wanted to see right there, which is unfortunate. Because now they're going to growth spiral. Yeah. Yeah, you don't love to see that. Gonna fetch now. Fetching now to play around fucking Shadowed Out, because it wouldn't be completely impossible for their deck to be playing Shadowed Out. Where are my veils? I want to see my veils. Let's see some veils, opponent. Come on. And by opponent, I mean deck, of course. Counter draw. If only we had Veil of Summer. Do you have your sound pin on the right on purpose? No, it's... I don't know what happened. Something got messed up in my configurations or with my headphones, but I wasn't being able to figure out. I wasn't able to figure out what's wrong, so unfortunately we're kind of stuck with it. And it's so weird because it's not like it makes sense, right? It's just the most random thing to happen for my sound to be like on the right, on the one of the sides. It's just so stupid. Moxhammer should work pretty good in this deck. We have Renin 6 and almost all of the creatures are legendary. The only issue is that Moxhammer is just a bad card. But yeah, I mean, it's better than the other options that we have going on in the main deck. Like, I think that the Piting Needle and the Aether Spellbomb are just bad. We should be playing some other stuff. This versus the rest. That's really fucking scary. Okay. Veil of Summer off the top. Veil of Summer. How about another land? Well, one is gonna get to draw a lot of cards here. Maybe even take a couple of turns in the process. I think we're dead, chat. I think we may be dead. Just your casual X equals 9. Just the usual. Draw 9 on my end step. No big deal. I remember in GPLA I was 4-0, I think, and I got paired against a player who was playing this deck before it was cool. We went to time, and then he beat me. I think this deck is overall pretty good against AmuLIT. I kind of want to play that deck. Can we just stop everything that we're doing and we just play this deck? It must be tough to figure out a good list though. Push my dude. Okay. And now we're going to draw Veil of Summer off the top. Off the top. Veil of Summer off the top. Am I doing it right? Am I doing it right? Veil of Summer. Veil of Summer. Veil of Summer. Veil. Because my bunny even has like disputes and shit. That's just bad. That's just bad. Chat. I don't wanna. Chat. I don't wanna. What do we get? You get anything good? We get anything good? Cling to Dust. We didn't get anything good. The idea was to, you know, hope that we can spike the blue Sun Zenith, because that seems like one of the ways that we can potentially get away from this. Sure. It's not gonna matter for a while, probably. How's the deck been feeling? It's been feeling like there might be something, but it's misbuilt currently. That is what's been feeling like. It's been feeling like there are some cards that shouldn't be here, and like it's a little bit too over the place and not particularly, what's the word I'm trying to say? Like it doesn't have a particularly coherent game plan. It's just like a combination of a bunch of random cards that don't necessarily make too much sense together. Like they do make sense in theory, but in practice they don't necessarily work out the way that you would want them to. Got him. While I was talking my opponent teachings into my onboard Ashiok. Tried and true strategy. Have you thought about a Stoneforge package? Yeah, I'm well aware of the Stoneforge package. That was one of the options. My friend Levi gave me a couple of options, but he wanted me to play this version. But the options are this. My favorite, I think it's Bug. Just blue, black, green. And just you get to play Emery. I think that the interaction between Urza and Tireless Tracker is very strong. But what black allows you to do is allows you to play like a better control game. So you get to play stuff like Fatal Push, which is a good removal spell as opposed to Path to Exile, which is just terrible. I mean, I am playing Stop Their Foundries for the Meek. I don't think that win conditions are the problem. Yeah, unfortunately, I guess that happens. They have another teachings. Oh, they have one in the graveyard. Like, what am I even saying? Exactly. Of course, they have another teachings. It's one literally chilling in the yard. Yep, I know what. I'm very well aware of what my opponent's playing. Also, teachings for teachings is just the sexiest thing to ever be done in a match of Magic the Gathering. Has there ever been anything sexier than teachings for teachings? No is the answer, right? Straight up no. Never. Impossible. Used to play this in paper and miss it. Yeah, it's been fun. It's looked like it's a lot of fun. This is the only irritating part, I guess. This is the only kind of do I really need to do this kind of thing part. But the truth is that they can't actually go infinite just yet. They're not locked into going infinite. Although I guess that they are. Yeah, I guess that they are because they flip Ascanta. I guess my opponent can even draw like the rest of their deck right here. Yeah, they're fetching, use Blues and Zenith. Like that's how far ahead they are. So I think this is actually just lethal. Because they get to draw 12 here. Yeah, I think I'm just dead. That's too bad. That's too bad. Okay, so as we go, I think that I don't want this and I don't want this. If I really wanted to play 4 colors, I think I'd do this. And I'm playing this over Galvanic Blast because I don't think we're going to be able to enable Galvanic Blast easily enough. And I think that these are just better as Mox Amber as opposed to the Binding Needle and the random Aether Spellbomb that we had. Like, if we're going to be doing something like this, I feel like this is what we're going to do. Now, the question is, do we want to be doing this? And that's a completely different question, because what we can do, make a new copy, and we can make this BUG Urza. Once we make this bug, we cut this, we cut these, we cut this, and we cut these. So now we have access to Emery, which I think is pretty good. We can continue after this match is over. Tracker Norsa is awesome, but you might just want to mid-range with no combo. I think that you can just combo, because you can very easily backdoor into it, right? So it's not... I don't think that the combo takes up too many slots, and I think that even the combo cards are just not terrible by themselves anyway. This hand is just bad, though. This hand is a lot better. Like, holy shit, is this hand better? I think I'm just gonna bottom the bubble, because we kind of have everything that we could want here. Turn 1 Goose, turn 2 Wren. Some from French's Wars if you're not cutting white. Well, yeah, I mean, I was cutting white. Just play a Matter Reshaper. Keenan also seems sweet. The problem with Keenan is that it's just kind of bad, right? That's the only issue with Keenan. The fact that it's not really a good card. Elastic Tron. Elegant Tron. Take it. Chalice for 1 resolves. This is bad if my opponent has this member, but I don't think that they have this member, so... And if we untap with this, we're... Like, we have to win, right? Like, there's no way that we don't win if we untap with all of this. Okay. Reality Smasher is fine. Didn't even look at what they were attacking. Just doesn't matter. Are you going face or are you going to Ren? I don't care. Just do whatever makes you happy. Blue plus blue. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I guess I'm playing around. All this dust. Might as well. Another smasher. Both of them at random. No blocks. What are we doing with all of this mana? Are we spinning? I think I'm just making plays at random. That seems like the correct line. Huh. Just pass the turn. We could have spinned Urza there, I guess. There was maybe an argument for spinning Urza, but... Oh, they found the Olis Dust. Wow. Okay. Okay, so I guess that we're gonna lose this game. Brutal. Well, this guy's pretty large. Never mind, guy's not large. Which is dead, right? Wow, they play one of these. They play exactly one copy of this card. That's frustrating. So that unlocks her path to exile. We're technically not dead. We have to chomp. But then we can path. Oh, I guess we can't path because we're gonna be at not enough life. We're not gonna be able to to do anything. Wow. Okay. I guess I threw this game. I should have played around all this dust. And I even said it. And then I didn't do it. Sack the food. Yeah. That's something we can do for sure. Probably not gonna be enough. Yeah. Because now we can't crack the food, so. Well, we don't really have a sideboard here. What did they get? It doesn't matter. This hand does have some cards that I'm looking for. I wonder if we're gonna just take too much damage from this though. Gonna go turn 1 spell because I don't know what I want to name with Needle just yet. There's also the possibility of just like playing Stomping Ground tapped and say go, but the problem with doing that is that it's just bad against other stuff. Also, that was a mistake. I shouldn't have done this. Like, I'm planning on cycling this, so... I have to try to find land. Not quite the land that I was looking for. Not quite the land that I was looking for. We don't know what deck I want to play when paper returns. Have AmuLIT, Heliod Elves, and can build most or Helder piles. Should play whatever makes you happy. Just Naughty Tron into what? If they show me, yeah, I was gonna say if they show me a card, I probably have to. Technically, it's not over because I have Biting Needle, so I can just name Karn the Great Creator. The problem is like decoding still does the thing. Sorcerer Spikeless. Interesting. Well, that's definitely good for us. What if Neobrand makes them happy? Then they should play Neobrand. Gonna be doing a lot of losing, but Hammer Times is really hard to play. Just play some games. Yeah, we streamed it like a month ago or something, and it was awesome. Lots of decisions, lots of little details, like stuff for optimization and whatnot. It was great. It was definitely great. Had a great time with it. Nope. Not happening. So I'm probably going to cycle this Canopy, I think. We're far behind enough that I think I have to do it. Thought not Seer. I wonder if you take Urza anyway. Like, we're super far away from casting it, though. Land? Blue source? Ding. I think I'm just gonna play Omnath. If my opponent has this member, that sucks, but no reason to play the bobble, the Face of Karn. They have this member. That would be very unfortunate. They have this member. All right. Making boggles because it's cheap. Yeah, it being cheap is a good reason to buy a deck, honestly. Is there a worse feeling than just getting luck sacked by an Eldrazi Tron player? Is there just any feeling that's worse in the world than just getting luck sacked? Drawing the one of all this dust game 1 and then just nutty Tron into a bunch of stuff while I can't find like missing colors. My friend who hates Modern plays Boggles for PTQ seasons, etc. I think that's just a terrible approach, but Whatever works for your friend is fine too. So man, I started off with a win this league, and then I just couldn't win another match for the life of me. Seems like a decent opener, though. Stomping Ground into Shriekhorn. Talk too soon. Spoke too soon. Teferi. Yeah, I don't think that's gonna do it. I'm gonna get a temple, a breeding pool here. I could buy the Neil the Shriekhorn, but it's not a good idea. I'm missing Weir of Invention. Yeah, Weir is a good card to be playing, and like they're just a bunch of cards. Like I don't think this deck is well built. I think it has a bunch of misses, but we're gonna be talking about them. We're gonna be talking about all of them when I talk about like my ideas or my thoughts at the end of the league. Hot Loots, Wicked Salt, grinding the game so I can live vicariously, plus the added benefit of not downloading Magic the Eye online client. It has for a subsidiary for 20 years. Colby, how can anybody even deal with such amount of value that you're getting? Thank you so much for coming back for the 7th month in a row. Really appreciate it. What are we doing here? If I choke, I can make another food. Alternatively, I can Teferi minus, but then the Teferi immediately dies. I think that's kind of okay. I feel like I'm behind enough that I need to draw something. And Gilded Goose blocks Narcomoeba, but it doesn't block other stuff that my opponent could draw. We're not drawing well, though. Crippling Chill. So they have a Nymph and a Loam. And we're down to 9, which is a little bit scary. Basic Forest. Doesn't literally every single Dredge player to ever breathe think that this card is just unplayable? So technically we can path this, which kind of interests me and also means that I'm probably going to be doing this. And I guess I'm naming Wooded Foothills because there's literally nothing else to name. So this gets Temple Garden. We path this and we block the other one. Ox is not an activated ability, it's an alternate cost. So Niddling Ox doesn't do anything. It's a legal play. but it doesn't do what you want it to do. Same thing with Conflagrate. I could fetch for a white, no, but then yeah, I want to make sure that I have access to Urza mana if I draw it. So we're gonna chill here. And that's bad for us. So we have to draw Karn the Great Creator. If we draw Karn the Great Creator, we're actually in potentially in okay shape. So Karn Great Creator one time. Or a land. Or a land. Land is also fine. Or just dead on board to the Conflagrate. Got those, got one of these. Probably get these actually. Always wanted to play Dredge, seems fun. Yeah, it's an interesting deck. I think I played Dredge exactly once, and it wasn't. Oh, forgot about that. And it wasn't a good time. Like I just didn't enjoy it. So then I never played it again. that's all. That's the story. Got all the cards. Play the league. Never touch it again. Live from the Gnome is fun to play. It is when you're doing it for value. It is when you're doing it for value, for me at least. And you're not doing it for value against when you're playing Dredge. You're doing it for, you know, brokenness. In before Thoughtseize turn 1. Shriekhorn. The Horn of Shriek. No missing the conversation for best. Draw 3 spell of our time fighting with Brainstorm. That's an accurate assessment. I would agree with that statement. So opponent Dredged Gnome here. I don't think this is enough. Opponent gets Bloodghast. That's kind of fine. Now the question is, should I play there on Blood Moon? I kind of don't want to play around Blood Moon. Then maybe I just have to. If I don't think the lists are playing Blood Moon right now. They are. Whenever I lose to Dredge with AmuLIT, it's basically because they play Blood Moon. They exile their Ox? Huh. Okay. So I think I'm cracking Relic here. Because I'm gonna do it on end step anyway, and I'd rather my opponent not hit land drops. And this is because I'm missing land drops, obviously. Okay, so now we get to Urza, which is nice. Sweet. Oh, wrong card. Thank you for the follow. Come back to eat. Earth, come back to Earth. So Urza here. Equip that there. Pass the turn. And if my opponent uses resources to deal with this Urza, that's probably fine for me. Because next turn I have another Urza. Fuck. Annoying. Okay, what are we doing now? I think we're doing tracker stuff. We can play a second Urza if we want to. We could also play a Ren and 6. Ren. We can't cast Omnath now. Whoops. Maybe that was a mistake. So we chill here. So we're hoping for no second Cathartic Reunion. I think they have one unknown, now two unknowns. And we're hoping that they are not a Cathartic Reunion or a Conflagrate, because we lose to those. But we beat other things. Loam, what is this? Mountain Mine Gorge. Opponent gets Bloodghast, but we have enough blockers, so that's no big deal. We can also crack clues if we have to. Hardcast Bloody G. Okay. Face with everything. Block there, block there, block there. Dark PCK coming back with a tier 1 sub for the 3rd month in a row. Appreciate it. Welcome back to the Primetime Stronghold. Hallowed Fountain. So we can't kill out of nowhere. So I think we're supposed to play a land. Can we spin 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 mana? So I think we start by spinning. So we spin, play a land. Yeah, that should be fine. Oh, it's pretty good. No, I clicked on the wrong one. Why did I click on the wrong one? Oh man. Oh wow. Ugh. God damn it. Okay, how do we salvage this? How do we salvage this? We can't play around anything until next turn. So if we play this step, we're gonna have one clue. That's gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4 mana. But then I'm gonna have one less construct to block. Is that what I want? Yeah, I took the sword instead of the foundry. I just misclicked. I was thinking, oh, I already have sword, so I just need to get the foundry, and then instead I clicked on the foundry. So now I just have to figure out how the hell I'm gonna undo my game losing mistake. My opponent's gonna have 4 attackers. We have 3 blockers. We can make +1 blocker, and then we can't beat anything. But it's still probably the best thing to do. It's still probably the best thing to do, isn't it? I guess that we can make 1 more mana with the fetch land because we make 1 more clue. And I'm dead to what's his name anyway. Keep that Urza. Yeah, so there's the conflict right there. Obviously, we should have won this game, right? We should have won this game, but it's fine. Okay, so back to the drawing board. I don't think that list was very good, but we can fix it. So we need Delta. Maybe 1 or 2 Verdant Catacombs. I guess that we don't need as many fetch lands once we are not playing Red and 6 anymore. So now we have access to Ember, a couple of Mox Embers. Now we can have Water Grave, Breeding Pool, Swamp. Maybe another island. We do want pushes. Thopter Foundry, Sword of the Meek. Played Rag and Blue Green a bunch back in the day. Karn's Sign was pretty good, but it doesn't seem like it's 3-4 mana bombs that we're lacking here. Yeah, I don't think that's what I care about. I probably want to be playing the full 4 copies of Karn in the list though. That's for sure. But I feel like I'm definitely lacking on interaction. This allows for Inquisition to be a player. Also, I think that this sideboard is just wasting too many slots. Like we can, that's just a waste of a slot. The Spyglass there. We have a Relic and Tormod's Crypt that also seems a little bit redundant. We definitely, like, the mana base felt like it was off. Like we had too many green sources and we didn't have enough blue sources. We were lacking blue a bunch. We were lacking white a considerable amount of the time as well. Don't need Ashik if you have Karn for Graveyard Hate. Yeah, that's also true. I'm trying to think whether we want to have access to something like... People were saying Keenan earlier. This card is kind of interesting. But I probably would not play more than 2. And that would be pushing it already, honestly. Rebuke. I think Metallic Rebuke is low-key just a very good card in this kind of deck. Maybe we just don't care about Inquisitions. We can play some lands instead. Another Burning Catacombs. Academy Ruins, maybe. Oh, Springleaf Drum is a good one. Yeah, for sure. Springleaf Drum is... let's actually use the proper art. Springleaf Drum is actually very interesting. I would like one more land. Would definitely like one more land. One more land exactly. Probably just another Water Grave. Let's just do Overgrown too. Yeah. So this is where I would start. This is where I would start. How about a castle? Which one? Inventor's Fair? No, I don't think that Inventor's Fair is where I want to be. Like, Thopter Foundry is kind of like as another random form of value. We can get them with Emry, and Emry makes me not want to play any of the like Akanda Ruin style effects. I think that here we can make use of Karn a lot better. The blue castle is just terrible. It's just not worth the amount of mana that you sink into it. I'd rather just play a land. Also, the good thing about this, about all the bannings, is that we get to play, you know, nicer arts of things instead of being forced to play snowlands. So we can do this and we can play the objectively best kind of forest. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Yeah, so this is where I would go if I wanted to. As far as the sideboard goes, now that we have 4 cards, devoting slots to sideboard cards makes a lot more sense. Like it felt like there were a lot of wasted slots in the other list, and all of that for like 2 off, right? Like we had access to exactly 2 copies of cards. So I don't think that's what I wanted to be doing. Also, A-Shop, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Snake versus Skin and Kina kind of covers removal slots. Snake? What snake are you talking about? I literally don't know what you're talking about. Like Steve? Oh, Quaddle. No, I definitely don't want Quaddle. Yeah, this is not a Quaddle deck at all. Ice Fang just doesn't do shit in this deck. And this enables Moxamber, which is the main reason why I'm playing it. So all of these cards enable Moxamber, which is not a lot, to be honest. That's just only 10 cards. So I could definitely see doing something like this. Because Springleaf Drum is a lot easier to be enabled. It can even be enabled by Orthopter Foundries. We got Moxopal at home, right? Mom, I want Moxopal. We got Moxopal at home. Yep. Too real. Too soon. Too soon. This list seems a lot better in my eyes. This list seems a lot better in my eyes. And then there's the possibility of going Rug. Like, all of these shells use the same idea, right? But the thing about playing Rug is that now we have access to Ren, which honestly is just a lot better than Keenan, right? Instead of pushes, we have bolts. And we're basically playing the exact same deck. Oh, I guess that we can't play Thopter Foundry if we're doing this. I totally forgot about that. Yeah, maybe Rug. I mean, I guess we can technically just splash for Thopter Foundry. Just Rug and splash for Thopter Foundry. Because we have Katria Triumph. So we just play like the random Sagoth Triumph or the... Yeah, I guess it has to... No, I guess it could be the Jeskai Triumph as well. Rug is a much better Amber Shell. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, Mox Amber becomes a lot better whenever you're playing Rain and 6. If I enable Ember turn 1 with 1 Mox Amber every game like a champ, like it should be. Just like it should be. And the very exciting thing about Rug is the fact that it's probably going to be the best version of the Tireless Tracker Shell, right? If I really wanted to play a 4-color version, I would make the changes that I made. I honestly don't think that we can play a Horizon Canopy. Like, that's cute and everything, but like the mana base just cannot support it. I would play another blue sword, or another blue land before I played the other forest. Katria Triumph is what I'd do. Moxamber is interesting in this list because we have both the Fairy and Ren. I guess we can also shave a Thopter Foundry. Maybe another Karn. Or if we want to keep it at 2 Karns, that's also perfectly fine. But if we're keeping it at 2 Karns, then we definitely want to slow down on the sideboard aspect of it. So we just have like a Thopter Foundry, a Sword of the Meek, a Ballista, and like we don't play explosives in the sideboard. We don't play Relic. Although I guess Relic we could just play in the main deck. I guess I'd rather play Soul Guide Lantern, right? So if the idea was to play just a card that we would just bring in anyway against the graveyard decks, I'd rather just do Soul Guide Lantern because it doesn't get in the way of my Ren and 6. Galvanic Blast versus Bolt. Even though this is an artifact deck, this deck doesn't put that many artifacts into play. So I think that Galvanic Glass is going to be shock more often than not. Sai, no, I don't think that we want to Sai. I would like to make room for a couple of Emrys, though, if at all possible, but I just don't think we can, unfortunately. But Emry's just great. Like, this shell is just so powerful for Emry. Honestly, I kind of like Emry better than Karn. This is worth exploring. And now our sideboard can just be like a normal sideboard. So we got this, we got this, we got this. Probably disputes. Kind of like disputes. Rebukes are also interesting, of course. We just talked about that a little bit earlier. Narset is interesting against aggro. What would we do against like Prowess, for example? I guess against Prowess we could have access to Path to Exile in the sideboard. Even though Path against Prowess is just so bad. Embrace, just build your own lures? Yeah, for real, right? This card is just so powerful. Man, there's so many ways that this list can be taken. Magnog97, thank you for the follow. So many ways that this shell can be exploited. You should try Gargaroth against the Prowess decks. I mean, if I'm surviving until turn 5 in order to cast the Gargaroth, that probably means that we're doing okay, right? Three mana blue win card from last year since Decent versus aggro. Yeah. Yeah. That one. That card. God damn it. Oh, yeah. Oko makes food. That's such a great synergy with Gilded Goose. How did I not see that? It also turns on Mox Amber. Very cool. Very cool interaction. Anyway, this deck seems cool. This deck seems cool. There's a lot of ways that there's a lot of ways that this deck can, a lot of directions that it can take, and each one of them is going to have its pros and cons, right? So there's just a bunch of exploring to do. Way too much exploring. So much exploring, so little time. The thing I do like about this list is that now we have like 15 enablers for Mox Amber. Like, it's very likely that Mox Amber is just going to be fine in this deck. And we're not wasting slots on Karn, which Karn doesn't turn on Mox Amber. But yeah, this is pretty interesting. This is pretty interesting. That's gonna be it for this stream though. So we'll be back for the next one. Actually, not for this stream, for this league, because we're gonna be playing another league now with Green White Company, an updated version of the list that I played last week. So don't go anywhere if you're watching right now. But if you're watching on YouTube, thank you so much for checking it out. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.